Hello, everyone, and welcome to my quick unscripted review here of the Adley FIXI-T1 Champion, the White Champion, which is a very special watch that is bicycle inspired, which is something I rarely seen. Actually, I've never seen, to be honest, and it's quite interesting. Very subtle details, and it's right here. I will be going through the design, the quality, and overall conclusion of this watch. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. Let's see here if I can get this bad to focus. There we go. So the first thing to note is that it's a bicycle-inspired watch, but they did this very subtly. So first of all, the back does have a kind of an engraving with a bicycle and some racing finishing stripes, which is nice. And on the dial, you have the part near the pedal. There's a rotor, and I can't remember what it's called, and it has a few spokes, and that's pretty much the only thing reminding you of a bicycle, which is nice because if we start having weird bicycle logos and wheels everywhere, it's too much. And the way they did this, I really, really like it because as I'm not specifically a bicycle enthusiast, but I can enjoy this watch anyway. So it's a pretty well thought out design if you want to do a bicycle themed watch. And not only that, they made a really unique watch design-wise if we look at all the other elements. So first thing you notice is the 12 o'clock crown, kind of like a bullseye, one of the vintage bullseyes. Omega, I think, had some, Bulova as well. And that's an interesting design in itself. But then what they've done here, which I've never seen before, is they've also added an extra notch here at the crown, the 6, another kind of crown or button style thing here at the 6 o'clock, and it does have a number on it. So that's the limited edition number, and I think it's really cool. It kind of adds a little bit of flair and symmetry to the watch, which is nice. I have reviewed on my blog. I've reviewed Bolito, and they do the same kind of style of watch, but theirs is flatter or thinner here and then goes up in width, which is another interesting take. This has the same kind of UFO shape, so it's the same width all across. And I would say I really, really like it. The way the case kind of bevels in, and then you have this nice bezel that then finishes on top with the domed crystal, giving it a very, a streamlined design from the side here, which is really, really nice. And then something Bolito doesn't have as well is the lug sticking out, which gives it a little bit more weight and presence on the wrist. So really, really nice design here. Looking at the dial side as well, it looks fairly simple right now, but we'll get a closer look when we look at the quality, and we can see there's a bunch of stripes and different kind of patterns engraved in it, which is really nice too. Minimal text on the dial, and this very small little second hand, which at first kind of bothered me a little, but now I actually grew to like it. It's just different and fun. I really, really enjoy the design of this watch, and also the rehaut is not just going straight down. It has an angle which kind of helps make the watch seem less deep, I would say. It's just a very streamlined design. I really, really love it. There's even these notches in the rehaut, which actually are loomed as well. So if you go to my blog, hypeandstyle.fr, I have a written English and French review of this watch, and there is loom shots. This is a loom beast, in my opinion. It's sporting some really nice loom. But yeah, overall, the design is really funky and unique, and the bicycle theme is very understated, so nothing... as a watch enthusiast, I can't enjoy this watch without having to love bicycles. Strap choice for this one is quite obvious. It's a dark blue, which fits nicely with the turquoise second hand. I wish they had metal buckle though for this specific model, because it's not blacked out and kind of goes against, I would say, the metal here. I would love this to be brushed, polished metal, but yeah, I can live with that. And they also supply you with an extra leather strap for this, but I do prefer it on the rubber one to give it a bit sporty feel. So yeah, let's talk quality, because these goes for, well, they will for retail, they'll go for around $420, which is 380 euros. And you're getting a huge amount of bang for your buck with this watch, I will say. First thing to note, it's a 40 millimeter width. It's got 14 height, including the crystal. So already it's a thin automatic watch, comparatively, I would say. And it's got a NH35 movement, from Psycho. So really just a cheap workhorse movement, nothing you won't get serviced, but if it breaks, you can get it replaced at a very low cost. So really, really good solid movement that, can probably beat away for 20 years without a problem. Not precise, but reliable. And the second thing is the finishing here. It's really good for the money. The brushed sides here are very nicely done. The polishing of the bezel is very nicely done as well. The crown here is nicely done. I will say it's a bit hard to get the crown out, especially because of the strap here. I don't have nails, so it's quite hard for me to get this crown out, but not really an issue. I never take it out unless I wake up in the morning. So yeah, it just needs a little bit extra help. But if you have nails, you can get it out pretty easily. But yeah, overall, that's the finishing is superb. Now let me just zoom in on this dial here. Let's see if we can get this in focus. Let's go. Come on, make my day. There we go. So the dial is really well made. First of all, everything is centered perfectly on this dial. The second thing is the lume is very well applied. It's got the BWG or BGW9 lume. Gives off a blue hue. I think it's my favorite lume for the money. It's almost as good as the Rolex Chromalite. So really, really good lume here. The polishing of the indices is very, very nicely done here. Let's see. And the hands. I noted this in my written review. The hands are really crisp. The polishing is very good. The lines are sharp. Let's see here if I can get it better. There we go. Look at that. Basically reminding me of the Seamaster hands on the Omega Seamaster, which are also very crisp. I'm not saying it's the same level of finish, but at the glance of an eye, it's quite close, which is very surprising. And when you look at the kind of spoke element in the middle, reminiscing of bicycles, it's got this it's bead blasted polish with a lot of small little details, which looks very good at a close look. The printing is very nice too. You can see the Adley has kind of a rounded shape, glossy shape to it, which is nice. And then the rehaut as well. These little holes with revealing the lume behind it is quite good as well. Overall, dial-wise, it's surprising. I mean, finishing and quality is amazing for the money here. And another thing to note is this double-domed AR coated crystal does the job pretty well. In most light situations, I do not see myself. I only see the dial, so it's a very, very good very, very good, let's call it refraction index or whatever you call it. It doesn't reflect a lot of light and even gives a nice effect here at the edge. So essentially exactly what you want, especially for this price range. I'm really impressed with the quality of this watch. Now, when it comes to straps, this is just generic straps. Now, it's comfortable. It's soft. It does the job. The buckle, again, generic. But yeah, we're not limited. We can put on any strap we want for this. So I'm pretty happy. They also supply 2 straps with this watch when you buy it. They also offer a pretty nice box with cool little stickers and a watch travel case, a huge leather watch travel case where you can put a few watches in, a few straps, black and yellow version. It's really, really nice leather one. So a lot of bang for your buck with this watch. So yeah, overall conclusion is that they've created a very unique watch that is bicycle themed, which is a little bit weird. I'm not a bicycle fan, but I actually like this watch without being a bicycle fan, because the elements that is reminiscing of the bicycle is very understated. I've shown this to some of my friends. They have not guessed it is a bicycle themed watch. One thing to note here that's interesting is that there's some printing of the model name and a few extra info here, which is hard to see because it's this turquoise blue. And I kind of like that. I kind of like that they put some printing on it and it's hard to see. Like, it's not the main point of the watch. The main point is the center element and the Adley. That's all you really need to see. So I'm pretty happy with that as well. An interesting note. Now let's put this on my wrist and I'll show you how it looks on a 17 centimeter wrist. I can go here, wrist check. I'm wearing my Breitling Navitimer 92 from 93. It's one of my go-to watches. Everyday wear. Let's see here. So let's pop this up on the wrist and give you guys a good look. So my wrists are 17 centimeters circumference. You can do the math for inches yourself. In American, I can't do it by heart, but it looks pretty good. Let's see here if I can get that. There we go. So 17 centimeter circumference wrist. It's It looks taller than it is on the wrist, mainly because the lugs are at the bottom, so the watch just sticks out more, which makes it look a little bit taller, which is nice. Which is why it's really nice that it's a thinner watch. I wouldn't say very thin, but it's relatively thin compared to some micro brands in the same price range. But yeah, it's got a nice wrist presence, and it's quite well balanced, I would say. If you don't like these taller watches, I kind of do. They remind me of the bullheads that also stick out, the vintage ones from Omega. And yeah, Adley did a great job. I highly recommend them. If you like the design, this will blow your way in terms of quality. So yeah, go. They're still on Kickstarter when I'm doing this video, but they will become available retail, I think, after if they reach the goal. So yeah. Hope you enjoyed this review. Please go and check the written one with close-up pictures and lume shots on hypeandstyle.fr. I write in English, I write in French. If you like this video, it's unscripted. I know it's not a big budget. I just want to get it out there. But please like and comment and subscribe, and hope to see you soon again. Bye.